Hi guys, welcome. I'm Siddharth Mukherjee and you're watching Kali Cricketer. What a day's test cricket we have had. It was a phenomenal day for India. We are completely in the driving seat right now. And it is on us to now drive the advantage home. So, straight off the bat, take a look at the scorecard. We started off the day with 3 wickets to take. Mitchell Stark and Alex Carey was on the crease. Uh, Harshit Rana started off the day for India. It was a decent over. Then came Jasprit Bumrah, and in his first over only, he removed Alex Carey. Nick behind, simple catch to Rishabh Pant. India was at that point of time completely on top. Then came Lyon, who also did not last long. Harshit Rana bowled a brilliant ball, bouncer that followed him, took his gloves, and again, a simple catch to KL Rahul in the slips. Then came Josh Hazelwood, who looked like getting out in every ball. But then that partnership between Hazelwood and Stark, they frustrated India. It didn't cost a lot of runs, but enough runs in the context of the match, but it really frustrated India. They were there on the crease for 1.5 hours. Yes, quite early in the into their partnership, Jasprit bowled a brilliant ball. It took Hazelwood's edge, but Rishabh Pant was a bit off-footed because he was following the line of the ball. When the ball straightened, took the edge, and it flew, in between Rishabh and the first slip, Virat Kohli. So that if had that gone to hand, should have gone to hand, in a sense. Then India could have had a lead of over 60. But anyways, they frustrated the Indian bowlers quite a bit, but that also was a sign of how the pitch was playing, because one of the stark difference that in 2 days cricket was the wicket, and that became even more evident as the day progressed. Uh, Finally, Harshit Rana took the wicket of Mitchell Stark in the second spell when he came back. India took a lead of 46. The wicket came, in a sense, at hindsight, at opportune time. Had it come a little bit earlier, then the openers would have to face 2-3 overs before lunch, which would have been awkward in a sense. But right at the stroke of lunch, just before it, the wicket fell. Mitchell Stark's wicket. To be fair to him, he played quite impressively, especially with the tail. Especially with the, found the strike well. Protected Hazelwood as much as he could, and got a few useful rounds down the order. He got 26. So India took a lead of 46 runs, and then came out the openers, and wow, the both of them really, really, really impressed. They batted brilliantly. They batted 2 sessions. India are at 172 for no wicket lost and a lead of 218 runs, absolutely in the driving seat. Now it's on us. It's on the Indian cricket team to drive the advantage home, bat the entire day tomorrow, and pile up the runs. Now, first thing first, the wicket. If you look at the wicket, the if you look at yesterday's wicket and today's wicket, the color difference is stark, and the way it played out sort of followed that same template. Yesterday, 17 wickets fell, and in the entire day today, only 3 wickets fell, and they were the Australian wickets. They were tail-enders, with all due respect to them. Though Mitchell Stark batted well, but I think that too was a cue to the Indian batters, that the way that the last wicket the partnership frustrated India. The tail-enders were doing all right. The ball was doing a bit and they were missing a lot, but the edges were not really coming, or the wicket was not really coming. So, and then once Rahul and Jaiswal got together and started batting, they batted brilliantly. They were watchful, but they were not overtly cautious. They, whenever the ball was there to hit, they went after it, went after those balls and went after them successfully. Also, I thought they had brilliant game plans. They left the ball very well initially, and also one great thing that they did, that was so wonderful to see was they kept taking those sharp singles, dropping the ball or dropping it in the gap and running well. And the the understanding between the two were really great. Was really great. You know, in terms of running between the wicket, till pretty much at the very end where there was one incident where run out could have happened, but at hindsight, it was not a major incident, and thankfully, nothing came of it. Uh, but yeah, then they both batted brilliantly. Rahul continued in the same vein as he did in the first innings. He was cautious initially, and but not overtly so. Whenever the ball was in his areas, whenever the ball was there to hit, he went after the balls, and mostly successfully. Uh, they barely played any false shots. But it was quite controlled aggression, defended beautifully, both of them. So the batting, the quality of batting was wonderful. The temperament of both the batters were really impressive. But the other thing that also happened is that by this time it was pretty evident that the pitch has by this time had lost all its spiciness or all its fervor that it had yesterday. 17 wickets fell yesterday, and today when Australia was bowling, it's not that they bowled badly, but the ball wasn't doing as much as it did yesterday. That zip was missing, and certainly there was not that much movement anymore. But having it said that, looking at the wicket and how it has played today, given it was around 28 degrees today, it was a warm day. Tomorrow it is expected, the temperature is expected to be even higher. This wicket is going to dry out even further, and as the match progresses, the cracks would come into play, and they will open up. A few balls stayed low today. A few balls from Mitchell Stark, Pat Cummins, Josh Hazelwood, one or two balls occasionally stayed low. One or two balls hit. There's a crack right in the middle there, and the movement was a bit exaggerated. Uh, so yeah, as the match progresses, I think these cracks are going to play a big role. The bounce is going to become uneven, and batting would become difficult. Uh, I think today probably was the best day to bat on. Tomorrow as well, I think if India has to drive this advantage home, they should bat the entire day tomorrow, and maybe if everything goes to plan, on fourth day, maybe half an hour before lunch, declare after piling up massive runs from where you cannot lose anymore, and Australia from there would have to play to just save the match. By then, I think the up and down bounce, variable bounce will come into play. That would be ideal scenario for India. And the way these two batted today, if the others can take inspiration from that and follow in the same vein, then I'm quite sure India would make this happen. You know, and just to talk about both the players, Rahul, as I said, was brilliant, and Yashasvi. For such a young man and was playing in Australia for the first time, and after having scored a zero in the first innings, I thought his temperament was excellent. He defended confidently, he left confidently, and he went after the bowling. He there was no half measures. He was not unsure. He went after it then. There was, and they defended brilliantly, and they played with very soft hands. So at times edges came, but they never carried. Apart from one time when Yashasvi went for a full blown drive against Mitchell Stark, that ball didn't. Might say that it just carried down at what just, and it's hard to call it a chance, but you can say that it was a half a chance. Usman Khwaja in the first slip, and it dropped, say a foot in front of him. So that it's hard to call it a real chance, but it was half a chance. So barring that, it was quite a flawless innings. Uh, when the spinner came on, when Lyon came on, you could see that he's itching to go after Lyon, but he played the situation brilliantly, controlled his aggression, and used it when the time was right, when he was set. Hit a massive six of Lyon over long on. The sixth, especially the one that I loved the most, was nonchalant, elegant, flick of his pads of Mitchell Starks that went for a six, and these are long square boundaries, and that was a brilliant shot. So these two players have batted brilliantly. There was also some fun banter in between, like in the morning session when Harshit Rana bowled one. Which was Stark said, hey Harshit, I bowl quicker than you, and Harshit smiled. So them being teammates from KKR, and then again, while Yashasvi was batting, Mitchell Stark chimed in with something, and Yashasvi said, "Okay, this is not quick. This is who says you're fast?" Something like that. And that was also fun. So yeah, all in all, it was a fascinating day's cricket, and India absolutely, totally dominated the day. This day belonged entirely to India, and I hope these guys can continue in the same vein. They both richly deserve 100. Yashasvi is batting on 90 and Rahul on 62. I wish them both the very best, and they deserve 100. They played brilliantly, and I hope India really really drives the advantage from tomorrow. So I can't wait. I can't also wait to see how the pitch plays tomorrow. Whether the uneven mounds come into the equation. I think it might by the final half of the day tomorrow, by the third session or so. I think the uneven mounts might come into play. The ball didn't spin much. Nathan Lyon just bowled quite a bit, but nothing really alarming. One or two balls just spun a bit, but nothing really spun much. But tomorrow, I don't know. I mean, this is the conditions are going to be even hotter. Things are going to dry up even further. So I think the cracks are going to start to open up from tomorrow onwards. By fourth day, I think the uneven bounce would be completely, will come into play, and that should work out brilliantly for India. India need to bat out the entire day tomorrow. Then it will put them in really dominating position. They are already in a very dominating position, but that would be great. Anyways, I can't wait for tomorrow's cricket and looking forward to it. And I will see you guys after the day's play with my two pence on things. So until then, take care, guys, and I'll see you.